Hi, welcome to another episode of Composing Secrets. I'm your host, Joshua Sohn. Today I want to go over what it means to collaborate with another composer and how to get the best results from it. It might be weird to start working with somebody else if you've been doing this all yourself in the past. So I'm going to go over some ways to establish clear communication and the roles within the team. I'll also suggest some tips and activities that will help facilitate that. Oh, and by the way, you can see more of these type of videos on the music creation process on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, what does it mean to collaborate? Well, to me, it means where you and at least one other person band together to create a piece of art. Regardless of how many people are on the team, the principles are the same, and it's really important that you guys are on the same page for certain things. Now, on one side, there's the business aspect, and then on the other side, there's the music creation aspect. So in your first initial meeting, it's important to go over these two things. I'll start with the business side. On the business end, you want to talk about the type of organization or structure of the team. So meaning, is there someone in charge? Is there going to be a lead composer? And if so, there's going to be other people on board, or if it's just you, you'll be the supporting role. And that's very important to establish early on, because then there's no conflicts or butting of heads later on. Now, there's also another approach, which is equal partnership, and where there's no one in charge, but both of you have the same equal voice in the matter. So once you've decided the structure of the team, then talk about the compensation and time commitment. So if one of you can only commit to 10 hours and the other can commit to 40 hours, that will definitely relate to the pay and even the ownership rights of the music. So start talking about that, and it'll become more apparent once you can figure out your commitment and your schedules. From there, you can move on to the music side. On the music end, there's going to be 5 points to talk about. Now, the first one will be the purpose of the music or the message it's conveying. So whether it's for film, games, or songwriting, this is a time to talk about the purpose of the music. 2, the palettes. So you want to talk about what type of sounds will make up this track. 3, style and feel. So talk about where this music would belong in the time period of music. 4th is your duration and the scheduling. So a lot of the music schedules will kind of relate to the amount of minutes of music that you need to make. So for games and film, that's especially important. And so use the duration of the tracks that you need to make as a guide to the scheduling. And the 5th is your sharing system. I would suggest using Dropbox or Google Drive to help have access to those files. Another tip or another way of doing that is using Cubase's VST Connect, which will be able to video conference and share audio files all within the same DAW. Okay, so here's some activities that you guys can do to help facilitate what we just talked about. So one activity that you can do for the business side is create a contract. Now, it doesn't have to be 10 pages long. It could be very clear, short, and concise on the terms of what you've agreed upon. And then having that legally binding will help to avoid any conflicts down the road. So one activity for the music side is creating an inspiration board. You can do this online and make a digital storyboard, and just think about how other graphic designers or interior decorators do that. They usually will have a big poster with a collage of magazine cutouts and things like that. So it's the same idea here. Do that with the music and even take audio clips and start throwing them in folders. That way you guys can all be on the same page. And then another activity that you guys can do that will drastically help and be effective is a cue sheet. A cue sheet, if you're not familiar, is a spreadsheet of each track that is required to be finished, which will include information as whether it's approved, the title, description, mood, style, and the duration. And then if it's for film scores, then you'll also put the time code of where the music fits. So recently on a Ninja Kids TV episode called Dragon's Gold, I was hired on as one of two composers, the other composer being Daniel Blomberg, and we used a cue sheet early on. We actually did a spotting session with it, and we were able to assign each cue to each other. We color-coded everything. We determined how much music that we needed, which was about 10 minutes of music. And right after that meeting, we had really no time else to spare, so we just went right into the project and finished the project within the one day that we were given. Without that cue sheet, I don't know if we would have been able to be as efficient. So I hope you learned something new today. Having a good sense of collaboration will help you to build a long-lasting working relationship with your team. Just recently, I saw a picture posted online with Alan Silvestri and his team gearing up for the new Avengers movie. You can probably guess how long they've been working together, probably longer than most of you or I have been alive. And it really goes to show that it's not about just you, but it's about a team of other like-minded people that can help build something greater than yourself. And I hope that you can be able to experience that down the road, collaborating with someone or a team of people that you can trust and rely on. I'll see you next time on another episode. Till next time.